Hi, my name is Violet Porter. The title of my advanced research project is Criminalizing. The increase incarcerating, which institutes extreme and unnecessary criminalizing of the homeless and mentally ill, has been presented as a serious problem. The research project paper will discuss who the perpetrators are that incarcerate. In addition, how these people suffer under these conditions. Also, why the official believes that criminalizing these people is the proper way to handle this situation. Moreover, why some people advocate against the incarceration of these marginalized individuals and believe it is unnecessary to imprison them. The United States prisons. To begin with, in the United States, there are 2.2 million individuals that are presently locked up. 5% of the world's prisoners are in the confinements of the United States. The United States has the most people incarcerated in the world, and that does not include 750,000 in the jails. The United States prisons are overwhelmed with unintelligent minorities and people with mental illness. Moreover, as a result of this, there emerges a call for research. Incarceration. The law officials and the judicial system are over-criminalizing the homeless and the mentally ill. Homelessness and mental illness are the crimes that cause incarceration at an alarming rate. However, the incarceration comes from nonviolent, low-level petty crimes that do not require imprisonment. Moreover, the lack of mental health facilities or inhumane treatments of persons with mental illness leads to many other difficulties, such as incarceration. New York City approach. New York City brought to the table a new law enforcement policy, and it came with a 40% decrease in city's crime. Supporters who have observed vivid changes in New York, and they attribute the decrease in large part to the zero tolerance approach, a serious incarcerating of the homeless off the streets. This approach distanced the citizens from minor crimes, such as littering, panhandling, and defacing property. The city's residents were glad about how safe, or at least uncluttered, New York City's streets had become as they strolled to the theater around Times Square. Homelessness and incarcerations. Criminologists have been averse to follow the idea that situational factors encourage criminal activity. Their work in criminogenic situations investigate the criminogenic environment of homelessness. Using data on a homeless youth, they found that considerably greater portions of these young people commits offenses during homelessness rather than before homelessness. However, this pattern does not have anything to do with an age or gender. Instead, it is homelessness, then follows the criminal offenses. The other side of the story. There are always two sides to the story, and some hospital personnel believe and say, these are mission people. That's where they will end up, whether we keep them here for a day or a year. You can waste your time on them if you want to, but you cannot make me waste mine. Moreover, hospital personnel expressed a belief that clients who are motivated for treatment would follow through with clinic appointments to obtain medication. The appointments were always scheduled weeks after hospital discharge, yet staff described clients who missed their appointment as unmotivated and not worth the efforts. Dansky is the senior counsel at the American Civil Liberties Union Center for Justice. She stated, hospital personnel are fed up with the homeless and or mental ill clients. The graph below illustrates that the homeless may very well be the mentally ill, and there are very large percentages of the homeless and the mentally ill incarcerated. Salt Lake City, Utah is where hundreds of Americans are criminalized because they are homeless. Most of the charges are loitering, panhandling, and in some cities, lying down in public can cause a person to be arrested. The state of California realizes that the mentally ill are receiving immoral treatment in prison. A report from the state of California's Corrections Department will stop its policy of segregating mentally ill prisoners and move them into dedicated housing, and they will receive humanitarian management fitting for their crime. The transfer derived when the U.S. District Court Judge Lawrence Carlton said that the treatment of its mentally ill prisoners debased their constitutional rights and instituted extreme and unnecessary punishment. Criminalization of the mental illness. Law enforcers plus legislators have adopted an increasingly penal method for the treatment of people who do not fit within social standards. Policies such as zero tolerance, patrolling, compulsory sentences that transmit harsh punishments for drug offenses, and limitations to support, such as welfare, are all punitive instead of problem solving methods that lead to the criminalizing of the mentally ill and homeless. In conclusion, advocating with solutions for change for the incarcerated, mentally ill, and homeless is most important. Moreover, what was learned through researching this project concerned the incarceration of the mentally ill and the homeless. First, that there are many people in the United States that are incarcerated, and many are homeless and mentally ill inmates. Moreover, these situations are related to policies made by government officials back when the government decided to shut down mental health institutions. This one decision affected hundreds and thousands of mental ill people that were receiving treatment for their mental health. Furthermore, the problem of homelessness grew, and government officials tried to find ways to rid their city streets of people living on the street that were causing problems for the non homeless people. One method of clearing the streets of the non normal individuals was tough legislation and tough law enforcement. This cleared the streets, and some citizens were happy. However, other people started advocating against the incarceration of the mentally ill and the homeless. Moreover, activists began developing solutions for law enforcers, the training of law enforcement on how to best serve these citizens without taking away their rights. In addition, as you saw in the video, over criminalizing, and also many advocates in the video, Three Sickening Ways America is Criminalizing Being Poor. There are all solutions to change and overcoming over-criminalizing, plus the placing of the mentally ill and the homeless in long-term care facilities and helping meet the needs they have, such as low-income housing.